So, hey again and welcome back to a new stream. Today I think I'd like to take a, more detailed look at Khan. But I guess I just play, well actually, yeah, let's play a little bit of Team Deathmatch to warm up. And like 1-2 games, then I probably start talking a little bit about Khan, want to look at his kit, talking about loadout cards, how to play him, what you want to pay attention to. Stuff like that to, just help new players to get a better view on Khan, get some information how to play him, what might be good loader cards, and all those things. And then later on, probably also doing fewer games. So, I don't know how I want to do it. I think I go quickly over his kit, show some things in shooting range, and then talk about his loader cards I'm using for him. Okay, so basically Khan is a tank. I think that's not surprising, having 4000 HP. I think compared to other tanks and considering his kit besides that, his HP pool is actually pretty high. And also because he can increase it with loader cards, since not every tank is able to increase their HP by loader cards, or is not able anymore. For example, Core used to have loader cards which helped him to increase his base HP, but they took it out. I guess it was just too strong. Core with more HP is kind of scary. And remember when Core used to be first pick, first ban, so people were really afraid of fighting against a Core, I guess, so that's fine. But don't want to talk about Core, I want to talk about Khan. So his LOB, his main weapon, or his main resource of damage, kind of only resource, but kind of, is called Heavy Repeater, and he basically shoots pretty fast. Well, no, that's not true, not pretty fast. He just shoots shots dealing 190 damage every 0.26 seconds, but he can increase it with certain legendaries. His right click and one of the stronger abilities, or one of the stronger tanks, or one of the stronger shields compared to other tanks this way, because he's able to drop it and pull it up whenever he wants to. So he has no cooldown on his shield, which is pretty good, and the HP on his shield is also pretty high. So his shield has 4250 damage, and you would be able to increase it with loader cards, but I think it's, well, I wouldn't say it's not worth it, but you just want to use other loader cards. But let's talk about loader cards later. Then his commander's grab is, you can use it in multiple ways, I would say. You can either use it for actually movement to get forward a little bit, but therefore it's not that good. It's pretty good to interrupt movement abilities, because you can grab enemies when you dash into them, and you can stun, not really stun, but just imagine a running Rom or a rolling Jagerath. You can just grab them and you will stop their run, and they need to stand still for at least a second. So therefore it's pretty good, and it also deals 600 damage. So whenever you're fighting a squishy, a tank, a healer, whatever, and you're running out of ammo, or you're, just having potato aim, but you want to get the kill, just use your movement ability to kill them. And now let's talk about his strongest ability, I guess. In my opinion, it's the strongest ability, even though he has his ultimate. His ultimate is also pretty strong. But his Q, his battle shout, basically heals him and also his allies when they are close to him. And which makes it so strong is that he's basically damage immune for the amount of time you need to shout, and for a little bit after, like not even a second, 0.2 seconds or something like that. But it's actually pretty good to avoid heavy incoming damage, such as heavy damaging ultimates like Lian, Sky, stuff like that. You also can get that damage immunity against Drogoz, but Drogoz ult usually lasts longer than your immunity. So whenever Drogoz is flying towards you and maybe he's close to the end of his ultimate, you can just always try to use your Q to get that damage immunity for half a second, and maybe it's enough to actually survive long enough to cancel Drogoz ult in some way. And then Khan's ultimate, you basically are able to pull enemies towards you, or one enemy towards you, and you deal some damage over time, like dealing 220 damage over a short time, and you can throw them away when using your left click while holding them. But why is his ultimate so strong? So you basically always want to get picks to have it easier to win point fights, team fights, stuff like that, because then you would turn the actual match into a 5v4 or 4v5. And if you hit your ultimate, because your ultimate is a skill shot, then your team is either able to follow up your kill when holding them, but I think it's definitely easier in higher elo, because people are more aware of Khan ult. But if your team is not helping you and not looking at you or shooting at your target, then you can just throw them off the map to actually kill them. So far so good, but I want to show it a little bit in shooting range how it works. Like his whole kit to get a better understanding of it. And then I also go over his legendaries. So this is his normal fire rate. So you can see it's not that fast, but you actually can deal a lot of damage. Like dealing 100. Usually you should deal 100, and actually let's go to the pips or whatever. Okay, king, whatever. Should deal 190 per shot. But dealing headshots on most champions is pretty easy, so you can see 285 damage is pretty easy to get. And then you already could see this is my movement ability, my commander's grab. So the movement itself is not that great, but which is actually great, you keep the movement when jumping off edges. So you're not just dropping down after the movement end, you keep your movement. As you can see, you got way more range, or you closed way more range than if I just would use it without jumping off a objective. So that's why it's also pretty great. And let me show you how it works when grabbing an enemy. So I want to stop the pip. So see, I just grab him, throw him behind me, and stop his movement. So now I said that my Q is pretty good because it heals me and it also heals my allies. But I actually want to show it. So it's not like you either can heal yourself or your allies. You heal both at the same time. So I take some damage, Nando takes some damage. We are both low, and now I can heal myself and Nando, which is pretty good, pretty nice to support your flank. Cause usually Khan is an off tank. So in theory, you want to play together with your flank or aggressive damage dealer. So this is pretty great because you can protect them with your shield. Like this is your shield, pretty nice. You can drop it whenever. There's a slight delay or a little bit of cooldown, so you can't just click it the whole time. But you can see it's pretty fast. So you can shield your flank and you also can heal them. What's the radius? It's not that big, so I think. Okay, so you can see. I don't know how you can compare to what ability. Maybe it's Luna's circle or similar. And let me show you the damage immunity. So see, Cassie shot at me, but I didn't take damage the second I used my shout. And now the ultimate, it's important to say that you have a range limit on your ultimate. I think it's 150 units or something. Let me see if I can see it. Okay, no, it's not written down. I should be able to hit the Vic. So I'm grabbing them towards me, and either my allies are shooting at him. Okay, I don't know why he died immediately. Or I can just throw them away. So to throw them off the map if you want to. And if your target doesn't die while you're holding them and your ult ends, you automatically throw them. So I didn't have to click anything, you just throw them away. It's a a skill shot, so I can try to miss on that Vic. Like, I'm not looking at the Vic, so that's why I'm missing. But he was in range, so that's why you actually have to aim on the enemies. So whenever you feel like, well, I was on the enemy, but oh, I actually don't know. Like, look at the Vics, I don't know if you can see it, but they turn orange instead of red when they are out of range, probably. Let's try it. Yeah, my cursor has to be on them. Okay, that's interesting, I actually didn't know. Okay, apparently when their outline turns red, you are able to ult them. That's pretty nice, I think. Let's go over the legendaries. So the legendary, as I said, which I prefer, is Storm of Bullets. Increased fire rate and you do less damage per shot, but I think overall it does more damage, but I'm not too sure. So see how my fire rate is increased. But I can show again, I do probably less damage. 143 instead of 190 and 214 instead of 285 a headshot. Lian shield just has increased HP on your shield, and your shield recharges while you hold it up. So usually your shield doesn't recharge when holding it up, but when using Lian shield it actually recharges. Like, as you can see, my shield is recharging even though I'm holding it up. And just to compare to Storm of Bullets, for example, it doesn't recharge while holding my shield. In certain situations, is it best to play different talents or just always Storm of Bullets? I think in some situations you can play Vortex Grip. So as I said, it got buffed. I have to test it out if it's still useless. So it used to be busted, used to be broken, then they completely nerfed it to hell. So it was useless, but now it got buffed again, and I can see some value in Vortex Grip. But I think the Unshield is probably never really useful to actually play, since Wrecker comes way quicker or way more often online, and I don't know, it's just not worth it because people just keep shooting your shield, and I think you lose a lot of value when actually playing the Unshield, because it's not worth it to have increased HP on your shield. Your shield is already pretty good and you don't need your shield to recharge, and if enough people are shooting your shield, it's actually, you won't recognize a difference when your shield is recharging because they destroy it anyway. Just run Storm of Bullets, always best talent. Yeah, I think Storm of Bullets is always a good pick, but let's talk about Vortex Grips. So when playing Vortex Grip, you grab someone with your commander's grab and you stun them for an additional 1.4 seconds. So usually they are stunned for, I don't know, 1 second, the second you're throwing them behind you, but it's not really recognizable. But when playing Vortex Grip, you actually stun them. I can show it, 1 second. So grabbing the pip and see he's stunned for 1.4 seconds. Would you say Khan is in point tank or an off tank? Sorry if you have already said it. No, I haven't said it. In my opinion, Khan is definitely a off tank, but you're also able to play him as point tank. But usually it's when you play solo tank Khan. So in theory, you want to play off tank and point tank, and then Khan is definitely a off tank. But if you play solo tank, Khan can be a point tank since he has a lot of sustainability, survivability because of his shield and his shout. But he's so good at pressuring the enemies over long ranges because he can just spam his bullets over the whole map. He applies cauterize over the whole map. His ultimate is good to get an early pick, and off tanks are supposed to annoy the backline, get picks, stuff like that. Point tanks are in some way or in an easy way just supposed to sit a point and push up once you kill the enemy team. But off tanks are supposed to make space. You want to support your flank, you actually are able to support your flank because you have a shield. Your flank can hide behind your shield and you can heal your flank, and you're not that dependent from your support because you have 1100 heal on your own without needing your support to keep you alive. So you make it way easier for your support to focus on your point tank and other people on your team, while you can sustain in some way yourself. And you're just pretty good at pressuring the enemy team when walking towards them. So that's why I think Khan is just a pretty good off tank. Okay, let's look at his loader cards. This is the loadout I use for Storm of Bullets. So let me explain it. I think Hope God is the strongest card for Khan, cause you can just, while holding your shield, so while being low HP, you receive more healing. So it's basically free rejuvenate without needing to buy rejuvenate, and it also stacks up with rejuvenate. So make it really easy for your support to keep you healed and heal you in crucial situations. So rejuvenate is the counter to cauterize, and cauterize now being 90% is really annoying for your support. So I think you always want to try to get rejuvenate, but you don't even have to spend credits because you have Hope God at this card, or as a card. So 30% increased healing while using your shield is pretty nice to make it able, or make your support able to heal you up really quickly and save their resources. And you also help them to get credits, because support's getting credits or extra credits for healing you, and they just need to spend less resources to heal you to full HP. That's why I have Hope God on level 5. I personally like to increase the HP of my tanks, because I want them to be more tanky, even more harder to kill. So that's why I use Plate Mail on level 5, increase my HP by 750. Then, because your battle shout is also pretty good, kind of broken, well, not really broken, but it is really strong, I want to decrease the cooldown as much as possible. That's why I'm using Never Surrender, so reduce the cooldown of my battle shout by 1.8 seconds. If I run Hope God, I run Rejuve as well. Yes, in most cases, when I'm not forced to buy other items first. So now that I don't have to buy Cauterize, I definitely want to buy Rejuve always, I think. But in the past it was kind of rough to sometimes follow up on Rejuve, because you wanted to get Cauterize, needed to spend a lot of credits on it. And if the enemy team had a lot of CC, you also wanted to get Resil, and then you try to maybe get Rejuve. But now I think I always want to get Rejuve, especially on tanks. And the last cards are just filler cards. So Storm of Bullets used to have 30 bullets in the past, but they nerfed it. So that's why I like to increase my ammo a little bit to, I don't know, make it easier, or get the feeling back of almost 30 ammo. And because movement speed is always nice in the game, and I'm using my shout very often anyway, I just use Into the Breach, so increase my movement speed by 8% for 3 seconds after activating the battle shout. I think the card would be even better if you would also give movement speed to your allies. I would like to see it changed, I think, but I can imagine that it can be really broken then. Let's talk about Vortex Grip. Okay. So when using Vortex Grip, as I said, you want to use your movement ability to stun usually, but it's not like you guarantee a kill. So whenever Khan is using his movement ability on an enemy, he also exposes himself, because the enemy team also has it pretty easy to shoot you, because you're just running in the enemy team, grabbing someone, and you're also standing still on the same spot in some way. So that's why you want to use Close and Personal, so give yourself basically free damage reduction for 2 seconds after hitting an enemy with Commander's Grab. So it's important to say that you have to hit your Commander's Grab to get the damage reduction. And 40% damage reduction with one card is actually pretty nice in my opinion. Then again, Hope God 5, because this card feels pretty good. Played my level 3. As I said, I like to have increased HP, reduce the battle shout since it's still pretty good ability, and give myself a little bit more movement speed. So you can see I'm I don't know, most cards are similar. I'm using just the order or the amount of points I put into them. It's a little bit different, at least on those two legendaries. Okay, let's try to explain what we are supposed to do now. It's kind of rough because I can't play as the typical off tank, but it's good to see that Khan could work as a solo tank. I mean, it would probably be easier to explain it in ranked games, but I hate playing ranked. The queues are so long and it's just a toxic place. Okay. Usually you don't want to run on point immediately, even if you're the only tank. When I try to flank, I expect my Maeve to play with me. And what do we want to do? We want to try to get a pick, and then we can try to go on point. And once we killed the whole enemy team, I can push up to make space. That's just the theory behind it, or the theory how we want to play every tank, I'd say. Just wait until you get picks, go on point, kill the enemy team, and push up to make space. Okay, what do we want to get? Oh, she's playing Soul Collector. That's awful. Soul Collector Saris on such a long map is terrible. Usually you want to go more to reach because you have more heals in less time and you have increased range. But I think I still get reach and probably a little bit of nimble.
Embrace the stars. 5,
4, 3, 2, 1. Let the battle begin.
I still want to go typical off tank route, so starting off on right side. As I said, we want to get picks before we actually start something. We heard the sound effect of Atlas, so we know he doesn't have his rewind, which is good, so he can't rewind us. And I'm basically just looking for an opportunity to get a pick. There we go, got the pick on Jan. And now I just try to pressure them. So Corvus used his movement ability, should die now, same goes for Grover, there we go. I don't know why I have no sound effects on the wins I get. But that's how it works, in theory at least. And now I just want to dismount them. It doesn't matter if I die or not. Just want to get back to my service. See how every time I'm low and I'm able to pulling up my shield because I want to get heal fast, and someone should be on right. At least I saw someone on right. We want to rotate back a little bit to get behind cover because the enemy team was pushing up. We didn't have enough pressure to actually pull them back, so they were pushing in as a team. And that's why we wanted to fall back. Okay, Corvus is hiding. Now I just want to get back. Yeah, that's actually a stupid thing on Atlas. He's able to rewind you through your shield when he's hitting your character model. Oh, okay, he's playing Deja Vu, so maybe he also hit like the range on me. And against Atlas, important is you usually don't want to ult him off the map when he didn't use his second chance, because he can just use his second chance to get on the map again. Okay, there we go, getting hit by Ceres, and now I could look for an opportunity to hit my ult. There's no point in running on the point now because we didn't get any picks. Okay, there we go, we got the pick on Grove. Now we can pressure them again. And now I can keep just holding W to pressure them, and my team can capture the point. So the tank is not really supposed to go on point. I mean, you're supposed to make space, especially as Khan. But going on point, this support is supposed to push the card until, I don't know, until the enemy tank is on the point. When the enemy team is actually pushing in and the enemy tank is going on the point, I as a tank have to go on the point, but besides that, the support can just push the card and I can go and create space. Oh, okay, I wanted to say one thing about Khan's ultimate. Here's you see me in his ult, so Atlas wouldn't have been able to actually CC me. There we go.
30 seconds remaining.
Maybe we can get the pick on Maeve, I don't know. Want to get behind cover. Actually nice try by Ceres.
Enemy double kill. 15 seconds.
Maybe we can get pick on Atlas, that would be great. Yes, unfortunate.
9, 8, 7, 6.
Don't let me down, let me down. I'm trying my best to win.
3, 2, 1.
Okay, let's get full regi. And we got out. Okay, we used Sarah's ult, usually wouldn't ult there. But we got out Corvus ult, got out Atlas ult. I'm not sure about Leon ult, but it doesn't matter to be honest, because I can just either shield Leon's ult or shout it. I'm not sure about Maeve ult. But another thing, as I said, Khan's ult is, or gives you, grants you CC immunity, so I could just press E to cancel Maeve ult without even hitting it. You also get the CC immunity.
I'll attack left
5,
flank.
4, 3.
And now I just go right
2.
again.
Of course.
Don't know why. Okay, Strix, yeah, he could go left to also have someone on the left side, but I definitely should go right to try to get a pick with my ultimate. There we go. And even if I would have grabbed Atlas, I could have just thrown him the way I did to Maeve, and he wouldn't have been able to use his second chance. See how impactful the one pick was? I got a pick and their team needed to back up. They just blocked his second chance because I did look in his loadout cards, but he could get some cooldown reduction on his wall, and I didn't want to get set back in time anyway, because I don't want to go to get in a weird position, don't want to get low or stuff like that. Maeve should be alright. Okay, see how much impact the one pick had on the whole point fight, and because afterwards I just created space and didn't stay on the point. As I said, tanks are not supposed to stay on point the whole time. See, like my team is just doing whatever. They are pushing the card, but I can create space, and it's working out so far. Now that we are facing the enemy team and the card is about to push around the corner, and my team doesn't have that much cover, I want to get on point to get some damage for them. But whenever we get past this corner, the enemy team backs up or we get picks, I can leave point again and create the space. But actually I'm not sure about Grover. Grover might be a bot. This movement is a little bit weird. So that's another reason why it might be that easy. See how I toggle my shield the whole time. And you also could try to time it on certain abilities. Like at the shot, you can tell when he's about to hit you. At least when he's charging up his shot. Okay, get back. I don't know why Ceres went up that far, but she died because she was out of positioning. Nothing I could have done, nothing I could have shielded for her. I tried to shield this Strix. I wasn't sure if he got Atlas ulted, but also nice to try to go in front of your teammates and shield them when getting Atlas ulted, stuff like that. Okay, the pick on Corp is actually huge. Can block Atlas, rewind. Maeve should be behind.
Enemy killing spree. 15 seconds.
We could wait until the last second. We don't have to touch now, but okay, I guess my service is just pushing up.
8.
But usually I don't have to go on point that early.
3. Enemy 2. 1.
So you always want to try to go on point the last second.
Clearly, I'm not throwing
you just played the game with him and it felt so good because you knew what you were doing. That's great. Happy to hear it. Actually, I might just get Rezo because of Atlas Rewind, Atlas Ult, Grover Roots. Okay, again, let's try to go right side. And this time I want to try to ult someone, but don't throw them off and let my team finish them. There we go. Okay, apparently, like see, this is the problem. When my team is not looking at them, it's just a wasted ult. And Karnal ult is also dangerous for you because you also expose yourself, so it's pretty easy for the enemy team to also follow up on you. That's why you rely heavily on your team on maps where you can't throw them off the map actually. I don't know how Corvus didn't get hit by this result. Oh, that's not good. I want to go to my service to heal her. Wait, Maeve is dead, okay. I wasn't sure. I'm gone. Let's try to get a pick on Corv. There we go. That's all what we needed. Okay, heal my Maeve and now again push up and just dismount them. Doesn't matter what they do or whatever, I just want to get the dismounts and get back to make it possible for my service to actually heal me. Karnal is not your favorite thing because they just can't do anything. It is your favorite thing, yes, but just launch them off the map, yes. But I wanted to show what happens when you don't throw them off, so when you rely on your team to kill them. So why you want your team to actually focus, or why you want to focus on Karn ult, stuff like that. So it's 2 minutes left, so I actually can, never mind, want to wait out the Maple. Want to try to ult someone to get a pick and open a fight. See how I always focus squishes first. I don't care about Atlas at all. I just try to make some space and run down their squishies. And I always try to also stay behind cover, if you see it, like always hugging walls if possible. Oh yeah, it's just enjoy Alacrity Lian. Alacrity Lian at her finest. Did you see it? She's just zooming around. Actually get back out of Corvus ult. Atlas could die here. Never mind, he just gets healed. Yeah, I guess we try to get back. Actually, let's just run in and don't stagger, just die. You did that in your game, you just hold him in the air and my team finished the person. Yeah, that's pretty good, in my opinion. That's the way you want to play it when there's nothing to throw them off.
30 seconds remaining.
My only goal now is to farm my ultimate. Doesn't matter if you push it in or not. Definitely don't want to use any ults. Just want to spam a little bit and touch at the last second possible. Maeve's behind. Okay. Kinda want to get close to the point to make sure I touch at the last second possible.
3, 2, 1.
There we go.
Overtime. Enemy
I think Lian's behind. There she is. Okay, and they just let us push it in. I think the Grover was a bot. I'm not sure, but still, I think a little bit better the game.